Look, have you ever felt like English grammar is just, well, this endless collection of dry, dusty rules you're forced to memorize for a test only to immediately forget them, right? Well, welcome to this explainer, because we are going to completely flip that perspective today. We're taking the present perfect tense, we're ripping it right out of the textbook, and we're transforming it into your ultimate, everyday tool for sharing your actual life experiences. Think about it. When you're on the first date, or sitting in a nerve-wracking job interview, or just, swapping stories at a party, the present perfect is literally the key to unlocking how we talk about who we are based entirely on what we've done in our lives up to this exact moment. It really isn't just grammar, guys. It's storytelling. To show you exactly what I mean, consider this slightly spine-tingling question. Have you ever seen a ghost? Now, to answer a question like this, you need a very specific grammatical structure. Because think about it, I'm not asking what you did yesterday at 2 p.m., and I'm definitely not asking if you're planning to go out on some paranormal ghost hunting expedition tomorrow night. I am asking about your entire life portfolio leading up to this very second. Have you, in all your years of walking this earth, encountered the supernatural? Being able to ask and confidently answer a massive life-encompassing question just like that is exactly what we are going to master today. All right, let's jump right into section 1, bridging past and present. So, to truly master this tense, I want you to picture it as a literal bridge spanning across a giant river of time. On one side of the riverbank, you have the past, right? Everything that's already happened, all boxed up and totally finished. Now, on the opposite side, you have right now, your present reality. The present perfect is the architectural structure that bridges the gap between those two banks. It lets you take an action from your past, pick it up, and carry its relevance directly across that bridge into your present life. You aren't just leaving the event in the past, you're actively showing how your history shapes your current conversational moment. It's a real bridge.
Moving right along to section 2, the formula for success.
Okay, so how do we actually construct this bridge? Well, the crucial point here is an unchangeable 3-step recipe. First, you grab your subject, the person or thing doing the action. That's your anchor. Second, you add your helper verb, which kind of acts like the steel cables holding the whole thing together. And this will be either have or has. And finally, step 3, you finish it off with your past participle. Now, you might hear this called verb 3, but please don't let the grammar jargon scare you off. It's just the form of the verb that describes a completed state, like eaten instead of eat or ate. Every single time you want to build this grammatical bridge, you're going to pour these exact 3 concrete building blocks. Now, to make sure step 2 of our construction holds up perfectly, we just have to match our pronouns. It's super simple. On one side, I, you, we, and they always get paired with have. On the other side, the third-person singular pronouns, he, she, and it, they take has. And actually, here's a really quick memory trick for you. Just remember that the single people, he, she, or it, have an S at the end of their helper verb for has. That's literally the only variation you ever need to worry about here. Once you lock that pairing into your memory, the foundation of your sentence is totally solid. Which brings us to section 3, focusing on the experience. All right, pay attention, because here is the absolute golden rule of the present perfect. We use this tense when the exact time simply doesn't matter. You aren't anchoring your story to last Tuesday or back in 2015. Instead, you are focusing entirely on the experience itself. In fact, if you try to slap a specific past time onto this tense, like saying, I have gone to the store yesterday, it literally breaks the bridge. Trust me, it'll make a native English speaker mentally glitch out. The spotlight must remain purely on the fact that the event happened at some undefined point in your life history, not the specific tick of the clock. Let's say a friend casually leans over to you and says, I have visited Paris. Well, they aren't handing you a detailed travel itinerary with dates and flight numbers, right? We have no idea if they went to France 10 years ago as a broke student, or if they just flew back last month. And honestly, we don't care. We only care about the present reality that the experience actually happened. That magic of Paris, walking down the Seine, seeing the Eiffel Tower sparkling, that is now a permanent part of who they are today. The experience itself is the whole point. We see the exact same thing happening right here. She has eaten sushi. Now, maybe she absolutely loved it and buys it every single week, or hey, maybe she immediately asked for a plain cheeseburger right afterwards. The timestamp? Completely irrelevant. What matters is that we possess our subject, she, we've correctly paired it with has, and followed it up with our verb 3, eaten. The focus is purely on the fact that she possesses that culinary experience. It tells us something about her palate right now, in the present, without anyone needing to check her calendar for a past date. And now let's wrap things up with section 4, using ever and never. So, to give this tense its true conversational superpower, we need to bring in two very common modifier words that act as the perfect little accessories to our formula. Think back to that first date or meeting a new coworker. You are constantly using the word ever to map out their life bridge. Have you ever traveled to Asia? Have you ever ridden a motorcycle? You use ever when you're probing to see if someone possesses a certain experience. But on the flip side, you use never when you are flat out stating that a particular experience has definitively not happened in someone's life up to this point. They're just simple little words, but they add immense clarity.
By slipping the word never right between your helper verb and your past participle, you are essentially throwing up a force field over your past. Take the phrase, I have never broken a bone. It flawlessly follows our construction formula, but it bridges an entirely unbroken past all the way to a healthy, intact present. Think about that. The speaker is summarizing a lifetime of avoiding casts, crutches, and awful trips to the emergency room in just 6 simple words. They are proudly presenting a zero-incident track record, all without needing to reference a single specific date. It's so efficient.
So, using this incredibly solid grammatical bridge you've just built from scratch during this explainer, I want you to take a second and reflect on your own life experiences. Look back at your entire history, up to this exact heartbeat. What is something, whether it's exciting, terrifying, or completely ordinary, that you have never done? Go ahead, formulate that sentence in your head right now, using the exact 3-step structure we just covered. Say it out loud if you want. And once you have that sentence crystal clear in your mind, the real question is, when are you going to finally cross that bridge and change it?